Welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I'm so glad that you're joining me for these messages. It just brings me so much joy to read your cards. Speaking of, my calendar is now open for personal readings. The link for that is in the description below. Of course, anything you could ever want to know about this reading is going to be in the description below. And honestly, that's really all I have. I'm not even sure what decks we're going to be using yet. I just started getting that like poking feeling last night to start putting out messages again. So that's what we're going to do. And this is probably the quickest intro I've ever done, but let's get into it. Sweet. It's so funny because, well, this dog started going crazy outside. So if you can hear them, sorry about that. Also, I started like getting like poked. That's how it felt, like just kind of nagged a little last night about starting to put out messages again. I know that I just said that too. But it's funny because today is like the first day in 2.5, almost 3 days that I have like felt human again. Just emotionally low. What's that song? There's a song. Anyway, so since today, I felt, like I said, just human again. I had so much stuff that I wanted to do and just kind of get caught up on. So I've barely sat down today. The only times that I've sat down is to like talk to people on Marco Polo. And then of course talking to you, doing this message. But it's just like, I was not going to be left alone until I sat down, which is totally fine. I am so happy about that, actually. So, I mean, clearly today was also watering day. We have a curly haired spider plant out here, so send it some love. And oh, I literally just got these today from a local metaphysical store, so I'll link them in the description below if you ever want to check them out. If you're local to Colorado Springs or close to Colorado Springs. I have this deck in the pocket size, but I've wanted it in the regular size, so I was happy to see it. And then I saw that they also had an oracle deck, so naturally I had to get both. So that's what we're going to be using today. I already prepped them. I'm like, you're going straight to camera, so we'll see how that goes. I did ask for consent first. I mean, you know, I do that with all of the decks. Anytime that I use them, I make sure that they even want to be here. So, anyway, we are going to choose who we're doing the message for first. I like doing it this way. We're going to do it this way for the foreseeable future. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. I also just don't like choosing. So there's that. Okay. There we go. Aries. Ooh. And we're coming up on Aries season. Well, yeah, I mean, in a couple weeks. I used to put the month, you know, like associate these readings to a month. And for a while, that felt good to do it that way. And then it kind of stopped feeling so good. So we're just kind of putting these out. They're timeless. Whenever you see them, the message is for you. We did this the last round of readings where we'll get an oracle card for the overall vibe, and then we will of course get more information with the tarot. So what is the overall vibe for Aries? These cards are like almost too big for my hands. Really having to stretch those fingers out, which is not a bad thing. Okay, I did cut like a big portion of that out because it kind of took a little bit of time for this bad boy to come out. So we have plant the seeds. How very interesting to just going into Aries season. And that's generally where, you know, people do start getting seedlings going, at least inside, right? So it's very interesting. And also going into spring, you know, when is a spring equinox? March 20th. That's very interesting. And I love this too, because there's so much that, oh my gosh, there's so much going through my head. I'm like, okay, everybody, like, just kind of cool it. One thing at a time. Spring equinox, right? So the true kind of door into spring. Also, of course, like even just the message, you know, around spring about, you know, blossoming and things coming back to life, coming out of dormancy, right? Like coming out of winter. I think it's just like, you know, there's this anticipation for spring. And also, you know, of course, like Aries just being the astrological new year, there's a lot of anticipation. Like you could be like excited about something. And I know, you know, like the last reading that we did for you guys, it was a little bit heavy. I think you guys were working through a lot of just kind of mental, physical stuff. It's not all rainbows and butterflies all the time, right? I mean, you know, and healing is definitely not linear. That's for sure. So, you know, I love seeing this message for you guys, because it's like, whatever it was that you were healing in the recent past, there is this opportunity to plant, you know, some seeds here and look forward to new beginnings. I love that the cat is helping here, and they look so happy to be doing so. So, I mean, there could even just be like a community element to some degree. That could be family or children. It could just be, you know, like reconnecting with your community or your family. We have the Hierophant here too, which is, you know, like passing down knowledge. Maybe you're showing your kids how to start gardening, or, you know, doing like, if you have kids, of course. Obviously not going to resonate with everybody, but, you know, maybe even just making a fun thing out of like growing indoor herbs or something, you know, like something along those lines, but where they can get their hands dirty too. So we have the Hierophant, Justice, love that, Page of Wands, and we just need 3 more. This little curly-Q is going to be dancing around for us too. That's because the bottom of that pot isn't, it's like, oh, I didn't put any feet on it yet. That's why I made that pot too. That's why, like, if you can see, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I've said this already, and if I did, I apologize, but like I was saying, you know, like I've just been like running around like doing stuff today, and part of that stuff was I had like 3 plants that I wanted to repot. I had a succulent baby that I needed to or that I wanted to like get into its own pot. And then I've been also experimenting with making these type of like little concrete pots. So I have dirt, I have concrete color powder, I tried to wash my hands as best as I could, but this is, oh my gosh. Oh, Aries. I mean, I could literally probably drop a little bit of a tear here. I just want to sit with this for a second. This is so beautiful, and I am so happy. I'm happy. Let me make sure everything is in frame, and then we'll get going. Okay. I moved a light, so hopefully there's not so much of a glare going on over here. Let's just start from the beginning. Like I said, we have the Hierophant, however you say it. And that's a card of Taurus. So there could be a Taurus around you. I'm a Taurus and I'm bringing you this message. So there's that already. But, the Hierophant talks about traditional knowledge. It can be anything from astrology, of course, because astrology is a language, a practice, a science that's been passed down for however long astrology has been around. I don't know the exact number. It could be human design. It could be a teacher. Obviously, we have a yoga instructor here, or that's what it looks like to me. So it can even be a spiritual, counselor, or somebody that's doing spiritual type of rituals. It could, of course, be organized religion. It could be your marriage. So you get the point. But like I said, with this plant the seeds and this cat, there is this opportunity, maybe even sharing your experience to a certain degree, or it's like you have found a modality that has helped you to some degree. Because this is also about learning. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like you're the one that's going to be in this position. You could be either one of these characters to where you are absorbing, like the information and learning, and maybe even taking up some sort of practice, whether that is yoga or meditation, some sort of like stillness, because even gardening, whether that's indoors or outdoors or some level of both, there's even a sense of meditation with that, right? Because it's like, you focus on what you're doing, and, it's like your energy mixed around with the ground or the dirt, the plants, to where it's like almost getting lost in time, It might just be one of those things where it's like, this activity is your time to relax and really connect with yourself. And then we have it paired with the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is abundance. I keep, forgive me, I keep like just being amazed by this whole spread, because it's like, we start with planting the seeds, and then look at all of this growth, foliage, abundance, I just love that. So these are also both earth cards. Like I said, this is Taurus. Taurus is an earth card. Pentacles are earth also. And the King of Pentacles is the highest expression of the suit, right? Like it's feeling abundant. Like, they have their cake and they're eating it too, type of thing. There's wine here, like just this whole setup. There's a contentment also. The dog is sleeping. There's no stress at all. There's a house back here, all this greenery. There's wine, but there's grapes around here. So it's, it can be assumed that it has this like self-reliance. You could be even deciding to start grow your own food to some degree. Obviously, you know, even with this plant the seeds thing here. And if you are local to Colorado Springs, let me know so I can buy some so I can buy some of your food. I love that. I love that. We have Justice here. Justice is the card of Libra, so there can be a Libra in your existence. There doesn't have to be. It's in number 11 too, and I love that that's kind of right in the middle of the reading. But Justice talks about the scales balancing. It talks about karma, good or bad. There's this leveling with the shadow and the light element. So again, you know, like whatever it was that you had been going through in the recent past, there seems to be some sort of leveling with that, at least, you know, like for the time being, you know. Could it be forever? Absolutely. I'm not going to say that. There could be something about your marriage. I mean, you know, we have the King and Queen of Pentacles out here too. So there could be something going on, you know, if you are coupled or if you want to be in a relationship, there could be something going on with that. I mean, you could be meeting somebody at like a seminar or something related to work. This could even be a promotion here, but there's definitely something, you know, the seed that's being planted, whatever it is, it's like the time is perfect for it, whatever it is. You know, I mean, like I said, it could have to do with work. It could have to do with your health even. Pentacles have to do with our physical bodies also. So then we have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles, queens are when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. So the Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing, kind of has that mother hen energy. And it's interesting because with these two here, so the Queen, they have cats around them, whereas the King has a dog. There's also, you know, like this family of cats. These could be kittens here, mama cat there, but they also have this chest of coins. The King of Pentacles doesn't have that, right? They have the actual like resources here, or like the things that you can obtain with money, or even like trade is like coming to mind. So it's very interesting because it's like, you know, you are going to be compensated exactly, you know, like how you should be compensated. But like I said, you know, this could also be a relationship, and that could be what you're even starting to plant the seed on. Networking. And then we have the Page of Wands. So we have this fire card here. Wands talk about action, communication, desires, creativity. It's fire, right? It's like the spark, like the thing that kind of gets you going. And, you know, there's kind of this like path down here, and then there's this path, and there's this cat that's like, hey, you know, let's go explore this way. And that's what the Page of Wands is. Like, they are very adventurous and kind of have this like childlike wonder about trying things, like just being curious, you know? So it's almost like whatever this situation is could be opening a new door here for you. And that's why it's time to get that seed planted. If it's something that you've been considering for a period of time, and also if it's something that is going to take like certification or school or some sort of, you know, like continued education to like some degree courses or something along those lines, then yeah, you know, like definitely get started on that path. You're only going to get there quicker, the quicker you start. And it is going to be very fruitful. here with the King and Queen of Pentacles coming out. Not to mention the effing Sun. Are you kidding me? So Earth, air. So this is a bit of the mind stuff. This is like you knowing that this is either something that you have wanted to do for a while, or it's again like this thing about knowing that like you deserve this. And you absolutely do, whatever it is. I don't even care what it is. And with things being in balance, it's like, again, the time, the opportunity, the resources, the materials, it's like now is a time to head towards that thing, literally. And maybe it is a matter of taking a path less traveled. This could even just be, like something showing up for you along the way. You kind of start heading in this, you plant the seeds, you start heading in this direction. Then it's like this door opens up that you didn't even necessarily consider, but you're like, ooh, that looks fun. And it is. Because the Sun card is like all of the good stuff put into one card. It's also, again, fire. So we end with 2 fire cards here. Literally, obviously, like the fire, right? But the Sun also talks about rejuvenation, life. This person is pregnant. There's this community here. So there could be a community aspect to this as well. You could be community gardening. That could be the seed that's being planted. There could be, like I said, there is somebody that is pregnant on here. That could be, there could be some sort of expansion within your family, or even like maybe even just the opportunity to do so. Not even necessarily that like you want that, but it's like it can be on the table and at least discussed, whereas before it might not have even been an option. And then I love how at the bottom of the deck is the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups, which is the only water card that's on the table. The 8 of Cups is about moving on emotionally. It's recognizing that what was in these 8 cups, like it's either the energy has been used up in those cups, like you've tried them and you're good, it's like you don't necessarily need closure on those things anymore, or you've gotten the closure that you needed. They're moving towards the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, purpose. I also love that there's like smoke coming out of this one cup. Especially since like we ended with fire here. I mean, I don't know. I think that's even beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Aries, I love this for you. And it was such an honor to read your cards. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.